Jam Master Jay died the most tragic death, executed in his own recording studio by people he trusted most. And for 2 decades, fear and lies buried the truth about what really happened that night. But before we dive into the heartbreaking details of his murder, we need to remember the revolutionary artist and community hero he truly was, because his legacy deserves to be honored beyond the headlines. Jason William Mizell was born in Brooklyn on January 21st, 1965. From the very beginning, music flowed through his veins. At just 3 years old, he picked up the trumpet, and as he grew, he mastered the bass, guitar, and drums, often performing at his church. When his family moved to Hollis, Queens in 1975, 10-year-old Jason discovered something that would change his life and music history forever. He found the turntable. By age 13, he was already DJing, honing skills that would make him a legend. As a teenager, Jason became Jam Master Jay, the DJ for a groundbreaking group called Run DMC, while earlier hip hop pioneers like Grandmaster Flash had invented core DJ techniques such as scratching and break beats. Jam Master Jay did something nobody else could do. He took those technical skills and made them work in mainstream commercial music. He transformed the DJ from a background figure into a star, an essential part of the group alongside rappers Joseph Run Simmons and Daryl DMC McDaniels. His genius on the turntables helped Run DMC become one of the biggest hip hop groups in the world during the 1980s. He literally helped bring hip hop from the streets to mainstream America, making the culture accessible to millions of people who had never heard it before. But Jam Master Jay was more than just a musical innovator. Even after Run DMC's peak success faded, he stayed true to his roots. He opened a recording studio in his Queens neighborhood and became a mentor to young artists. He helped launch the career of Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, guiding the future superstar when he was just starting out. His studio was meant to be a safe place, a sanctuary where creativity flourished and young people from the neighborhood could find hope and opportunity. He was building something positive, trying to give back to the community that raised him. His impact on music and his community is undeniable, a legacy often lost in the headlines about his death. What's your favorite Run DMC track that showcases his legendary skill? Let us know in the comments below. And if you appreciate stories that honor the true legacy of music icons, make sure to subscribe. However, behind the scenes, Jam Master Jay was facing a crisis. As Run DMC's popularity declined in the late 1990s and early 2000s, severe financial pressures began crushing him. The money from the glory days was drying up, and he had bills to pay and people depending on him. Desperate to survive, he made a tragic choice. In the 6 years before his death, he began selling large quantities of cocaine to supplement his income. This was not who he wanted to be. Publicly, he discouraged criminal activity and tried to set a positive example. But privately, financial desperation drove him into the dangerous world of drug trafficking. In the months before his death, Jam Master Jay set up a major deal. He acquired 10 kilograms of cocaine from a supplier in California, planning to sell it in the Maryland area. This deal was expected to generate around $200,000 in profit, money he desperately needed to help distribute the drugs. He brought in two people he trusted completely. Carl Jordan Jr., known as Little D, was his godson, practically family. Ronald Washington, nicknamed Tennard, was a childhood friend who had been so close to Jay that he was staying at Jay's sister's house at the time. These were not strangers or business associates. These were people Jay loved and entrusted with his life. But then something went wrong. There was a disagreement involving Washington and another person in the drug operation. Jay made a fateful decision. He cut both Jordan and Washington out of the $200,000 deal completely. For the two men, this was not just about losing money. It was about betrayal, disrespect, and rage. Driven by greed and revenge, they began planning something unthinkable. They decided to kill Jam Master Jay on October 30th, 2002 at approximately 7:30 in the evening. the plan was put into action. Jay was at his studio on Merrick Boulevard in Jamaica, Queens, working with his business manager, Lydia High, and his friend Uriel Rincon. A third conspirator, Jay Bryant, allegedly slipped into the building first and opened a back fire escape door, letting Jordan and Washington inside. Once they entered the studio room, the attack began immediately. Ronald Washington, carrying a gun, stood by the door and ordered Lydia High to get down on the ground. She complied, terrified. Then came the moment of ultimate betrayal. Carl Jordan Jr., Jay's own godson, walked toward him. When Jam Master Jay looked up and saw Little D, his face lit up with warmth. The whole attack took only moments. Jordan and Washington fled through the fire escape, disappearing into the night. Jam Master Jay, the man who revolutionized hip-hop and devoted his life to uplifting his community, was dead at just 37 years old, murdered by his godson over a drug deal. The tragedy was almost too heartbreaking to comprehend. Despite multiple witnesses being present in that small studio room, the murder investigation stalled almost immediately. For nearly 20 years, the case remained cold. Authorities had rumors. The breakthrough finally came when federal prosecutors stepped in. Local authorities could not crack the case because fear outweighed justice in the community. In August 2020, federal investigators indicted Jordan and Washington, framing the murder not as a simple local crime, but as a killing committed during a major narcotics trafficking conspiracy. This legal strategy gave them the power and resources to break through the silence. Two crucial pieces of evidence sealed the case. That in 2011, while in prison, Ronald Washington had confessed the murder to a fellow inmate named Yusuf Abdul Rahman. Washington admitted they had killed Jay. This confession, combined with the eyewitness testimonies, created an undeniable case. The trial began in Brooklyn Federal Court on January 29, 2024. Due to the history of intimidation, the jury was kept anonymous for their safety. Prosecutors charged both men with murder during a narcotics trafficking conspiracy and firearm-related murder. The defense argued there was no physical evidence linking their clients to the crime and tried to blame Jay Bryant, the third conspirator, but the testimonies were too powerful. Rincon described seeing Jordan approach Jay. High recounted Washington holding her at gunpoint. The Baltimore drug dealer confirmed the cocaine deal, and the jailhouse confession tied it all together. After 3 days of deliberation, on February 27, 2024, the jury found Carl Jordan Jr. and Ronald Washington guilty on all counts. Justice, delayed for over 2 decades, had finally arrived. Both men now face a minimum of 20 years in prison and a maximum sentence of life. Jay Bryant, the alleged third conspirator, is awaiting a separate trial expected in 2025. When the verdict was read, Washington shouted that they had killed innocent people, but the evidence said otherwise. For Jam Master Jay's family, the verdict brought a sense of peace they thought might never come. His cousin said the conviction proved that justice delayed is not always justice denied. The surviving members of Run DMC, Joseph Simmons, and Darryl McDaniels released a statement expressing hope that the verdict brought closure to Jay's family and reminded the world that he remains the heart and soul of Run DMC. Jam Master Jay's story is one of incredible talent, cultural revolution, and tragic downfall. He was a pioneer who brought hip-hop to the masses, a mentor who uplifted his community, and ultimately a victim of betrayal by the people closest to him. His legacy lives on through the music he created and the lives he touched. If this story moved you and you want to see more content honoring music legends, please hit that subscribe button and share this video. Jam Master Jay deserves to be remembered not just for how he died, but for how he lived and the incredible impact he made on the world.